Hey Aries, welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, check your other major placements. Or even if I do, check your other major placements just for fun. I'm at the end of the reading, I'm posting pictures of the cards that I pull so that you can look at them all in one place. And let's see, we're starting off with the Oracle deck for an intuitive vibe of where we might be going, and then we'll move on to a more traditional tarot spread. Let's see here. Okay, well, emotions are running high, supermoon. This is sort of the sunshine of this deck. The clarity of the sun card is what we're getting here. Just how you feel is really clear. There's not a big secret here. There's not hidden things. I mean, there probably always are, but you know, there's just something's very obvious and very clear, and it's not really a big guessing game or a curiosity. Emotions are running high. They could be like at a high key. They could be very intense emotions, and they can also be just very obvious emotions. We also have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. You're healing old patterns. And you're not who you are a year ago. You are mid-transformation. You're not, the transformation is not complete here. We're not who we're becoming, but we're also no longer who we were. So, so yeah, you're mid-transformation. You are deeply loved as you go through this healing and this transformation and these changes. Right? Sometimes change is scary both for our innards, because we, you know, when our externals change, our insides change, and then that raises all sorts of questions about identity and ego and the stories we tell about ourselves. So this is here, you're in a transformation, you know, and as we change, we sometimes have these questions of, are the people around me going to be able to accept these changes, accept who I am becoming? Will I still be, you know, really lovable is what it kind of comes down to, whatever words we want to give it. Will I still be lovable even if I change, even if I switch things up a little bit here? So, and this is saying, yes, you are deeply loved through these changes. And if you emerge a completely different person, it still is lovable. It's just different, not more, not less, just different. Mintonk and longing for home, belonging, original light workers. This has a little bit of a homesick vibe to it. Deep feelings here. Again, we're getting this emotions running high, intense feelings. We also have deep feelings. A sense of belonging, a sense of longing for a place where you belong, a sense of dreaming of that place of where you're going to. So it's like you haven't arrived anywhere. You're on some sort of journey, you're on some sort of change. Something in your life is changing and you have yet to arrive, and you're longing for that arrival, some sort of sense of security, some sort of maybe even a sense of who you are becoming or where you're going, the next steps. But you don't know yet. You're mid-transformation, you're mid-change, and you're longing for that resting place, for that land. You're like a ball in the air, and you're hoping you're kind of, it's up in the air, right? And you're thinking about and kind of longing for that landing in the glove, that whack, where you land in a place that feels safe to you. So a lot kind of up in the air, big transition here. And protection, calling back your power, cutting cords, soul retrieval. This is good boundaries. This is refusal. This is saying no to something. We have this this eclipse right here, this blotting something out, a refusal, a no. A return to yourself, right? We have this longing for home. Well, a home is a place you leave from and then you return to. And we have calling back your power, cutting the cords. So you're transforming, and you may be transforming into something you actually once were. So there's there's a cutting of the cords. That's a refusal. That can be some sort of breaking something off. And then there's sort of this return to something you once were. But you're not the same as when you left there, right? The transformation is you're, you know, it's a year later, you're back at the beginning, or you're back at where you were. You're returning home, but this is no longer home. You're returning to some place, but you're changed and different. And it leaves you possibly longing for, where is your new home? This is not the place you belong anymore. And a refusal to do something that insults your soul or insults your integrity. Calling back your power. You may have had bad boundaries or allowed someone else to have power over you. And this is saying, at this point, no more protection. So, and you're also protected during this transformation, during these changes, and you're protecting yourself. Home may not feel like home. What you think of as home may not feel like home anymore. But that's because you're changing. All right. Moving on to the Crow Tarot, which I have found to be very intense, with a lot of, intense readings with the Crow Tarot. So here's your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and then your possible outcome. The colors are the style is those blocky, painterly style. The colors are not bright, they're darker. And so going from this light workers, or the work your light deck, where, you know, we have this shine and this brilliance here, into this deck can be a bit jarring. We have Six of Cups. We're starting off with Six of Cups. And these cups appear to be full of roses, which I find fun. Six of Cups, this is a return, right? We're already talking about a return home. This transformation of returning to technically the place where you've been before, but you're changed and you're changing. In your recent past, we have a return to something. There was something very beautiful there. There was a lot of growth there. There was a lot of fulfillment there. It was a very spiritual return to something from your past, something that you've known before. This cup looks like it's full of light. So this Six of Cups is a connection. It usually has to do with the past. And there's a cup here that's empty. It's not fulfilled yet. So there's something from there that wasn't fulfilled. There's opportunity. There's opportunity back there. And it's like, back there you were looking towards the future. You were looking towards what was to come, hopefully. And now you're looking back at that time when you were looking forward to something. In your current situation, we have the Four of Pentacles. A little bit of a possessive vibe here. This is a bit of a Golem card. And of course, there are times when, you know, when you first get something new, or your first a honeymoon period, or a new baby, and you're laying in with the new baby and taking some time to bond, and it's just you. So there's a time for possessiveness, but there's also a time for, you know, understanding that there's more to come. So we don't need to be clinging to this. So there's a bit of a timeout, a clinging. Your hands are full with what you've got going on right now. There might be a little bit of an obsession. There might be something on your mind, something that you're clinging to and holding on to here. It leaves you a little bit vulnerable, actually. It doesn't leave you with a lot of ability to move away from predators or to a lot of mobility. You're clinging to something, and it has a hindering effect. Your mobility and your flexibility is diminished by this, but it's very important to you right now, whether that is, you know, a time period, or a total loss of perspective on something as you cling to something that's important to you without realizing that you've compromised your very nature and your very strengths by clinging to this thing and by maintaining this this reality. There's a sense of clinging to what you have and not allowing it's interfering with your nature, your true nature, and with your strengths. You have all of these strengths, but as you cling to this, they're sort of lost. Like, what's the point of these strengths if you're holding on so tight to something? So you're holding on pretty tight to something, and this can be like a temporary period of time, which it's needed like that, right? We need to do that sometimes to get used to something, to adjust something, an adjustment period. I'm being very obsessed with something as we adjust to it, but it could be just holding on to something too tightly, right? I'm reminded of my eggs in 2nd grade. I went to do show and tell, and the lady that took care of me had a parakeet named Charlie who laid eggs. And I brought the eggs to class, and she had told me to be really careful with them. You know, they're beautiful little eggs. And so I was very careful with them. I was going to protect these eggs with everything, and I crushed the crap out of them in front of the whole class. And because I was going to hold them so tight that they were never going to drop. Well, dropping was only one of the dangers those eggs were facing. So that's what this card is reminding me of, is the clinging so hard to something, crush it. I mean, luckily, like, Charlie lived alone, and there were no baby chicks in those eggs, but yeah. So it could have been a lot worse. And I was just shocked and horrified and grief-stricken at having crushed Charlie's, like, monthly offering of eggs, or however often she laid eggs. You know, I was crushed as much as those eggs were crushed by it. I couldn't believe I had destroyed these things I was attempting to protect. So in your inner landscape, your hopes, your fears, we have 9 of Cups, hoping to accomplish something and be able to show it off. And I did this thing, and I'm showing it off. So this very satisfied, and also letting other people know and other people see what you've done and what you've accomplished, and you should be proud of it, right? So whatever you're thinking about, you're eager to be able to share the news. You're eager to be able to share good news with somebody, with the world. You're looking forward to a time where maybe you can, like, open your website up and have people see, you know, what you're offering, what you've done. This could be also, you know, having something to share, to show for this work and this time out that you've had from other things in your life that you enjoy doing. This time out where you've had to, or you've chosen to be very focused on something. And so you're hoping for the rewards for that, and that those rewards will be seen by others, which is not a bad thing, right? Sometimes people think that being seen is somehow a terrible thing, but it's actually a very part of being these communal creatures that we are, is having our community see and acknowledge and recognize our growth and our achievements, right? So this is a lot of emotional growth, and you're hoping that someone's going to notice maybe that you've grown a lot. You've changed, you've transformed, you've changed, and you've grown emotionally. And this is a hope that people will see that, people will know that, that you've changed, and you're proud of this change, and you're hoping people can see that too. What's at issue here is King of Wands. There's kind of an asshole here who is maybe in charge of something, an authority figure, and they're not in touch with their intuition at all. They're not living true to their own values. The beast within lives and thrives and controls them. They're not in charge. They're not in control of the And I've got Captain Jack here wanting to climb up on this. It's been a long time since you wanted to be up here, Jack. So we have this King of Wands in reverse, sort of a beast that's not in touch with their higher self. They are more in touch with their beastly self, with their they allow themselves to be controlled by a base nature, by something that is wild, possibly dangerous and untamed. A King of Wands in reverse. All of these kings, when they show up here in reverse, do you want to see my cute cat? I'm talking about the lion here. Here we have my beast. And so this King of Wands in reverse, this beast here, kind of a beastly person, and unfortunately they have some sort of authority. They hold some sort of powerful position in your life, and they are more in touch with their basic nature, or their, not basic, I'm going to say their base nature, their I don't say this in a good way, the wild parts in themselves, right? This is someone who's in touch with their inner fire, inner flame, but yet also has a sense of mastery over it. This is someone who has been completely mastered, or is in a position where they currently are, being mastered by raw animal, and I love that Jack just showed up here, by some sort of untamed wild part of themselves, and I don't mean that in a good way. In your environment, you have Ace of Wands, so something beginning in your environment, some sort of inspiration, some sort of inspired new beginning of a project, of an art project, something very inspired. This Ace of Wands here going on in your environment. Being in touch with that, just beginning. It's just the beginning inspiration for something. Being in touch with these, the energy flows through the universe, the chi energy, and that sits in both creativity, sexuality, all sorts of places. So, I mean, that sort of center in our psyches here. So Ace of Wands, something beginning, a springtime here. But there's gusts of wind, there's a biting cold to it. It's not all pleasant. It's early spring. There's still some bite of winter into this in this inspiration here, in this movement, this spiritual movement through the psyche. So that's going on in your environment. There's some sort of new beginning here in the environment, but it's not well formed. And there might be it might be a little rough around the edges. Might be, I feel like, a little bit of an unexpected gust coming through your life here. Oh, I love this. Your to-do list is strength. Here we see the lion. So this might be you being a little out of control, your passions being uncontrolled, your emotions and feelings being uncontrolled. Could be somebody else, so it's a king, so it could be someone else, but here you are. You have tamed this inner beast. Look at the imagery is here. You know, we've got this sort of eternal struggle here, this eternity. We've got the lion here. Here, the lion here. This is you. This is your strength, your inner strength, your patience, your refusal to submit to the vagaries of life, your refusal to bow to I think this king here. There's a lot of similarity. There's a lot, you're very similar to this person, but you're not the same. This person has allowed them something to conquer them, some sort of inner battle to conquer them, and this is you. You have this mastery. Thank you, Jack. You have this mastery of your inner self, of your inner beast, right? We're not controlling, like this crow isn't here like sitting here not allowing this lion to move a muscle or puppeteering this lion. It's just there's a harmony here, and there's a connection and a harmony there. So that's your to-do list, is to not give in, to not give in to seeing I have another deck where it specifically references Lilith in that deck, a refusal to submit and a refusal to give in. I love that you have this protection card here, because that's what this looks like to me. Protecting yourself, having the inner strength to deal with something, calling back your power. Here the power is out of control. Could be someone else, this could be you. And here you are calling back your power and getting it under your control. You're in charge, you're controlling the situation, and you're not going to give in. And then, oh my gosh, we have again another infinity sign with this Two of Pentacles. So there's something, you may have like some sort of eternal bond in some kind of situation that you're dealing with, one of those long-lasting bonds here. Two of Pentacles, a lot on your plate. There's a lot to juggle here. There's a lot to manage in your life. And this can be multiple parts of your life, always needing to be negotiated, right? This wand, this infinity sign here, always needing to be negotiated with this inner fire, this inner beast. And this is, again, always needing to be working with this, always needing to deal with this, yet never giving into it, never allowing this. You may feel very intensely, but you're not allowing it to control you, or this other person to control you. You're having this strength to tame this beast. And then the juggle. You may always have to deal with this this issue, be it an internal issue or an external person in your life. You may always have to be negotiating with them and juggling this situation. Again, we have these two crows. Jack, where are these other two crows? Ah, these ones that were off in the distance here. Here they are again, off in the distance. These two crows. So there's like this is you returning to something. This was you. I saw you here looking forward to these two crows heading off. And then here again, we have these two here needing constant negotiation in the future. So there's negotiations ahead, either between aspects of your life that need to be, that will never be in perfect harmony, that need to be always juggled and handled in their turn. Or some sort of negotiation that you're going to need to do with this King of Wands. But first you have to get a grip on yourself, protect yourself, make sure you know who you are, what you want, and not giving into that. So, all right, Aries, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you for your likes, subscribes, and comments, and I'll see you guys in a bit.